Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Red is Power back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at a 2-for-1 special. That's right, I've decided to mix a few of these together just to save some time and save myself the patience of having to make another toy review just to review the other. Because clearly today was going to be the lovely pink female Spartan aerosol figure, but instead I decided to add in the ODST Jetpack Trooper from the Halo Reach Series 3 line, which just hit stores. And may I say, so far I've been very impressed with these figures. Now, I have heard some mixed comments about this figure. I've heard some opinions that this figure just really doesn't stand up to what it's really meant to be because of articulation wise. And I haven't really opened up this figure. I have never had an ODST figure until now. I know for a fact that this is not what the ODST figure looks like in Halo Reach. As far as I'm concerned, this is like a concept drawing design mixed into a figure. I'm not so sure exactly where this design came from, but I guess this is Bungie's part with McFarlane Toys. But, you know what? Let's just take a look at these packages right now, and as you can see, it's the basic Halo Reach packaging. Nothing has really changed besides the number and the color scheme right here. I think the last color was blue, if I'm correct, with Series 2. Series 3 is now like a orange color, highlighted around the character themselves. Also, nice game designs on the side. As you can see, there's the pink Spartan, and there's also the Jetpack Trooper, which that's, not accurate. That's not what the ODST Jetpack Trooper looks like in the game. I have no idea where this came from, but like I said, this has probably got something to do with Bungie. On the back, as you can see, get him up for a sec, it is pretty much the same thing, but there's the 3 exclusives, in which now I have all these guys except for the exclusives. Now the question is exactly where are these exclusives? I've heard some of them can be found at Toys R Us, Target, and one maybe even at GameStop. Sadly though, my GameStop doesn't have these figures, so it looks like I'm going to have to rely on Amazon.com in order to get these, alongside with my Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight figures. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to talk about this. It's nice packaging, but we really want to see what these figures are made of. So we're going to start this review off first with the Spartan Aerosol Pink Female figure. The first thing you will notice is that this really isn't a new figure, except for one piece. And that's this arm right here, this right arm. No, what this really is actually, it's nothing more than just Cat. It really is. Missing shoulder pieces, no scope on the side of her helmet, and that's really it, except for the robotic arm right here. That's all that it is. It's just a repainted version of Cat, missing that as well. So yeah, there's a few differences, but it's still just the same figure. So I guess this is what McFarlane Toys is going to go with the female Spartan figures, and personally, for me, I would like to see some more female Spartan figures. I really would. You can see there's a lot of paint scuffs all over the place, like scrapes. I don't know if that's supposed to be like battle damage or anything, or maybe the fact that McFarlane Toys just didn't really take the time to focus on painting her pretty well. Time is money, so I guess what they did was they just splashed on the paint, because it's all over the place on her helmet. There's a few spots right here. There's a few nicks over here. It's all over the place. As you can see, it's like a jumbled mess. There's just rose color everywhere, and there's some fade here, fade there. I like the way she looks battle damaged, but I'm not so sure if this is the way the figure is meant to be. Because, of course, the prototype figure is going to look better than the actual figure. That goes with any toy line. I don't care whether it's Bandai, McFarlane Toys, Jazzwares, Hasbro. It doesn't matter. Prototype figure is always going to suck you in, but when it comes down to the real figure and package, it's not going to be as good as the prototype figure. Never is, never will be. But I did do a little research.
Okay, so it turns out that actually the prototype figure isn't that good either. If you check out these images on Spawn.com, you can see that the Rose prototype figure was not perfect at all. There are a lot of paint scuffs at the bottom of her feet, around her thighs, around her swivel joints to her biceps, and all around the chest as well. There's like markings all over the place. So if we move on to another picture, see if there's a bit of a difference on the side. Now, don't get me wrong, the color scheme is pretty much the same. The design, the detail is nice. The markings, they're not as present as much as the figure out of the package, because this is really just a prototype image. But it's there. As you can see, the flaws with the paint design, it's there. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like battle damage. I'm not so sure if it was supposed to be put on heavily, but that's what really happened. It's on there very heavy like, and I guess that's like a mistake on McFarlane Toys' part. But it's there. If you look very carefully at all four images, there are paint scuffs all over the place on this female Spartan figure. So I'm guessing that this is supposed to be the way that the figure was supposed to be out of package, but I think that McFarlane Toys went a little bit too heavy on the battle damage. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Battle damage.
So even though a lot of you are probably disagreeing right now, that's just the way it is with this figure. I'm pretty sure every pink female Spartan figure that's out right now for the Series 3 line in stores has all this damage around her color scheme. So it's no different. I know a lot of reviewers so far that have this figure are having the same problem. So I guess this is just the way the figure is meant to be, with battle damage. That's what I'm going to call it from now on, battle damage. Pretty much everybody knows about the articulation. I really don't have to go into it. But the next figure I will. Okay, for accessories, she's got the assault rifle, which is nice for a female figure to actually have a bigger gun. Yeah, a bigger piece for the female figure. That is nice. I like it. It's really nicely designed, but there's no difference compared to the assault rifle that came with Noble 6 and any other Spartan figures I may have right now, which I can't name. Sadly though, I cannot remove this peg. I don't know what it is. Maybe they set it in there while the gun was drying after being painted, and it just won't come out no matter what I do. I try to even take my teeth to it. I just can't remove this peg. But I got more than just one assault rifle, so I'm just going to leave it in there. And besides, at least that way I'll know that it's hers, because it's the one and only weapon that I can't remove the peg. For other accessories, she also has a single hand grenade. Once you remove her from package, you'll notice that it's already on the figure, so it can't be removed. It's molded on there. But it was nice of them to paint it. Okay, fine, I'm just kidding. It is removable. And it's not on her when you open her from the package. It's separate. So, there's the peg, there's a hole. I already showed you how it goes. And now I'm going to put her in one dynamic pose before we move on with the next figure.
Epic pose failure!
So, this is the best I can do right now. I'm not really going to put her in a dynamic pose, but just the way that she's holding the assault rifle is definitely a big plus, rather than what the male Spartan figures can do. For one particular reason is the hand molding. As you can tell, it is different from a male Spartan figure, because the hands are actually separate like this for the female figure, while the male figures, their hands are actually molded together. So you can actually put her fingers in different positions, and she can actually hold down the trigger as well. But the way that the assault rifle is designed, it's really hard to get that one little pointing finger in there without risking to break it. So I'm not going to do that, but it's still nice to actually have a female Spartan figure come with an assault rifle rather than a small pistol gun. So that is a big plus for McFarlane Toys. They did great. I like the way this figure came out. Besides, the little paint scuffs. I'm not so sure if that's supposed to be there, but from what I can tell, I guess it's supposed to be. Just with the prototype images, there really is no difference between that figure and this figure right here. Her armor does come off, her chest armor, so you can switch it out with Kat if you wanted to, or any other female Spartan figure, which there isn't one besides these two. But sadly though, if you wanted to take off her shoulder pieces, I'm talking Kat, and put them on the pink Spartan figure, sorry, rose Spartan figure, you can't. Just the way that her arm is, they actually, what it looks like is the peg must have been shaved down or something, because I do feel something in there, and they painted over it. So that is kind of disappointing, but it really doesn't bother me, because at least there's a difference between these two right now that I actually do appreciate. So thank you, McFarlane Toys, for doing that, because it's, while the concept is actually okay for those who want to customize these figures, I still prefer to keep her armor where it is rather than just switch it over and have like a mixed color in between, which just wouldn't look right anymore. For what you get with this figure, accessory wise, detailing, articulation wise, and all that other goodness, I have to say that this figure is actually a 4.5 out of 5. There are some major problems, well, not too major, but it really comes down with the color scheme. I don't know what they were trying to go with here, if it was battle damage or if these really are just paint marks all over the place. I don't know. You'll just have to figure that one out for yourself, guys. Okay, moving on now. Okay, with the gorgeous pink Spartan or rose Spartan figure out of the way, here we are with the turd stopper himself. The ODST Jetpack Trooper still in his package. Now, pay attention right here where it says 28 moving parts. That's standing for articulation. So there are 28 points of articulation. Now, let's find out if that's accurate with this figure. Let's talk about the good stuff about this figure first of all. The detailing, nice. It's not the actual game concept. I don't know where this design came from, like I said before, and I'm not going to say it again anymore. But still, it's actually nice, and it really does look like something an ODST person would wear. It just looks great. I liked it. I like it. I don't care if it's not in the game. It looks great. It perfectly fits well with this figure. There's some paint applications missing to the helmet. The visor wise, it's too wide. If you look at the package, in which I'll bring it up, just give me a moment. Right here, there's a little black by the blue of the glass of the visor. All it is right here is just plain blue. So, a little painting will fix that problem, but I don't think this figure is actually worth painting. As a matter of fact, he may not even be worth keeping for some of you out there, but me, I'm going to keep him because, you know what, I think I can fit him in with my stop motion series. Somewhere in between. Now for the major problem. We went through what's great about the figure, the design, the paint application, and pretty much he just looks all out pretty cool, like he's a big buff super soldier ready to kick some Covenant bottom. Notice I'm being a little light on my swearing today. Now the problem with the figure. He's lacking the articulation with his arms. Something about his upper bicep, it just won't, you can't pivot. It won't turn. It won't rotate. And the same goes with this figure right here. As you can see, unless you want to try and break him, it's not going anywhere. The articulation is actually pretty good on this figure, but he's missing the bicep turn. A lot of people were figuring that, hey, for the Halo Reach line, they were going to take the articulation and change it a bit for the ODST figure to fit in with the Halo Reach figures articulation of today. But the problem is they did all that. It gave him nice wrist articulation like the figures of today, but no bicep turn. And that's really a big disgrace right there. Very disappointing and very hateful for those of the Halo Reach collectors out there. That's really it. I did find out another problem with this figure. There's a few problems, and I'm going to go with them one at a time. So, let's look at this right here. I like this right here. He can, he's got a ball joint right here so it can swivel like all the other Halo Reach figures right there. And right here, look at that. What is up with that? So let me get this straight. The ODST figure has extra articulation right here, but not here? Where's the connection, McFarlane Toys? What's up with that? Why did you do that? Another flaw going on. What is this, McFarlane Toys? Check this out. What is this? His foot came off. No, he's not broken, but they've gone back to the peg and the whole thing. What happened to the ratcheting joint? Let's talk about his accessories he comes with. He comes with his airborne jetpack, or whatever it's called, like the UNSC Airborne 2-pack that's up there on my stand right now. There's the peg, there's a hole, a very tiny hole. I don't even know if that's going to fit. Let's find out. That is a tiny hole. But it fit. Nice and securely. Okay, so it works. That's fine. It doesn't fold in. It would have been nice if there was one that was not sticking out where it's, you know, ready to fly. It would have been nice. Weapon-wise, he really doesn't have one unless you want to consider a non-assault rifle or anything like that. Instead, he's got this. He's got the pistol. Why did he come with the pistol? Why doesn't he have a big gun? Is there a sign here that McFarlane Toys is trying to tell us about this figure? This is exactly why this figure came with a pistol. And the major flaw with this guy. So let me just back up the camera a little bit so I can get this all in one single shot. And prepare for the biggest laugh of your life. Literally! You gotta be kidding me. Look at that. What's going on here?
When I grow up, I want to be a Spartan.
I think I know exactly where this figure came from. This is not Halo Reach. This was repackaged with Halo Reach. This is a Halo 3 figure. Or, you know, what it was called, the Expendable Collection, something like that, before the Halo Reach line started. This figure was postponed, delayed, like the Warthog, how it's so small, and the Ghost, how it's so small for their figures from the Halo Reach line to fit in them. This right here, this has got to be the explanation right here. He would fit perfectly in the Warthog, but I'm not going to pull it down from my top shelf. I'm not going to take the time because I got to make this review as short as possible. As short as possible! Okay. I've had some time to cool down. I just want to let you guys know that I was wrong about this figure. All the bad stuff I said about him is actually incorrect. This is coming from the heart. This is the truth right here, guys. This is my final thoughts about this figure, and it may be a little long, but just bear with me on this, please. Please bear with me on this. This figure is getting some bad remarks it doesn't deserve. It is actually a good figure. Now, if it came from Halo 3 being postponed by mistake, then that's okay. It's okay. This figure is not a letdown. The bicep articulation is passable. It really doesn't matter because I've had experience with figures that have lacking the articulation from the biceps. An example, Bandai America's Power Ranger figures. The male figures never have bicep rotation. Never. Unless, of course, it's a special figure like a Battle-ized Power Ranger with more articulation. Just thought I'd let you know. That's a good example. It's the best I can do. This figure is not a disappointment. He's actually interesting. He really is. So, anything bad I said about this figure, even with the very tiny scale. Let me just go ahead and take all that, ball it up like a piece of paper, and throw it in the trash. I'm going to keep it on this video, but I'm just going to discard everything I said bad about this figure because he doesn't deserve that. He deserves an applause. He deserves some respect. You guys need to respect this figure because this is actually coming from creativity. Like I said, this figure is not a part of Halo Reach. This is not what the ODST Jetpack Trooper looked like in the game. It's actually like an expanded universe. It's actually pretty cool. This is something that you guys might want to consider right here. This figure would be great with stop motion. There's no problems with that. There's no limits besides the bicep rotation, which you can overlook. It's fine. The rest of the articulation is there, including with some extra pieces that can actually turn the legs, which means he can stand even better. Unlike some of the other figures, they just have that one ball joint that can, turn their legs. And that's it. He has extra, which means you can get him in different poses unlike the other Spartans. So he's very creative, very interesting, but that's not why. Think about this, guys, because I'm really considering this right here. Listen to me. This is coming from the bottom of my heart. Please listen. You guys out there, you Halo stop motion creating fans, listen to me very carefully. This figure, don't reject him just because of his size and the limits of his articulation. He's actually worth it. He is. Because unlike some wars we're in today, this is like the future, is it not? This is like, what, 500 years into the future, something like that, from the time we're on? So, this is humans against aliens called the Covenant. And let's just think about this. What if there was no age restriction for anybody to join in on the war to save Planet Reach? Think about it. Teenagers. It is actually a teenager scale. Teenagers could be a part of ODST and help out the Spartans in the battle against the Covenant. I like that idea. It shows that anything is possible. It's very creative on McFarlane Toys' part. I don't know how this happened. It just did. Maybe this was destined. Maybe McFarlane Toys was watching one of my reviews and thought, maybe I would like this figure, and then again, maybe this just happened. Who knows? It's unexplainable. But the 28 points of articulation is still there with this figure. Just down here, not here. But it's still okay. It's cool. It's alright. This figure is nicely painted. The details are incredible. There doesn't seem to be any paint smudges anywhere. And there's a little wear, but that's like combat, coming from combat. But I guess that's what's going on with Rose right here, coming from combat. But still, I like it. I like this figure. He's not a disappointment. You should give him a chance. If you have to, just buy one. And if you don't like him, that's your choice. But me, I like him. And if you don't like this idea I came up with that there shouldn't be an age limit with the Halo figures, well then, I'm not going to blank this out or anything. Fuck you. Really. Fuck you. Because you have no creative ideas. Really. Come on, guys. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Okay, fine, it's not. But it's a once-in-a-chance opportunity to come up with your own idea with the Halo Reach stop-motion videos you do. This would work perfectly. And if you decide against it, I don't know why my camera just moved, but if you decide against it, then just use it with your past Halo figures. You know, ones with Master Chief. The, Halo 3 line. Let's just go with that. I don't know what the final line was called before the start of Halo Reach. But still, this figure, he's okay. It works. And it will work with my stop motion series. I can see both of these figures working. I'm not going to keep this figure in package. I don't do that anymore. These figures are meant to be played with. That's why they're called action figures. And it is very nice of McFarlane Toys to go back to action figures and not just statues. This is a well-deserved grade of a figure. Now, he's not perfect. He's not good. He's not super. He's okay. Just okay. He's not mediocre. He's okay. So, out of a scale of 1 to 5, I give this figure, from the bottom of my heart, this figure deserves, with creativity and great design, this figure deserves no other than a 3. Count it. 3 out of 5. It's passing. It's past the passing point. It's okay. This figure is okay. If you want to get creative, get this figure. Because this is definitely something very, very interesting. Now, there is a video out there from Kuba Kate that he shows you how to add extra articulation to his biceps. If you want to go watch that video, look up his channel, or you can give me some time and I'll try to find it and I'll put it in the link below. But, you know, that's up to you. That's your choice. It's at your own risk. But I really don't see the point on doing any of that because of one reason and one reason only. This figure has fine articulation up on his shoulders because actually this figure, his hands, or not his hands, but his arms can actually close in more than the male Spartans or the female Spartan figures. So he can actually hold that pistol straight ahead while looking straight ahead rather than having to turn the figure to the side and turn his head to the side so he's holding the gun out straight. You can do it with this figure like so. And it's just, it's awesome. Now, maybe I'm getting a little over myself right now. Maybe this is just a little bit out of a confusement. But don't get confused by me from what I'm saying, guys. Just buy this figure for yourself and see if you like it. Now, yeah, I know a lot of you out there are going to be like, this figure is full of crap. But you know what? If you don't give him a chance, you're full of crap. You just are. Because it's not fair. It's not. I'm not being a whine baby right now. And I'm not just defending this figure for no apparent reason. I don't do that. This figure deserves a chance, guys. He really does. This is coming from the bottom of my heart for the final time. It is. I'm speaking the truth right now. Look, I'm even going to put myself on the camera right now. This figure deserves one chance from you guys. He really does. Don't just hate it because of a certain people out there who have already done a review of this figure and says he's nothing but crap. Give him a chance. Just give him a chance. It might turn out that you may like this figure, and if not, you may love this figure. Not the kind of love I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. So, if I have anything else to say about this figure, it's just please, don't judge him by the size or the articulation. Just give him a chance. That's it. Nothing more and nothing else. Alright guys, I've done this review for quite some time now, and I'm going to end it right here, right now. So, you know, sit down, relax, it's over. If you enjoyed this video, in which hopefully you did, and hopefully you took the time to watch it, I hope this wasn't a big disappointment to you guys, but I will not do this again. I am very sure I will not be doing these long reviews anymore. Hopefully. Anymore. So, that's it guys. That's the end review for Halo Reach Series 3. New name Rose. I'm just going to call her Rose. And the ODST Jetpack Teenage Trooper. Yes, I'm coming up with names now. Who cares? They're my figures anyway. If you enjoyed this, you know, please rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this figure if you have him already. Let me know what you like about him, what you dislike about him, and what you have in store for this figure if you do decide to keep him. That's it, guys. And until the next toy review, in which they should be around the corner when I get time, this is Red is Power / Sonic Ranger off of Ranger Board, signing out, telling you to buy this figure and buy her because she's definitely worth the buy, and this figure is definitely worth the opportunity, a chance of a lifetime. And until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care, bye-bye, and since it's nighttime, good night, and thank you. Thank you to all my viewers out there. All 120 of you, of my subscribers. Thank you for watching this, and, just thank you. Good night, guys.